This is Mike J. Welcome back to the channel. What I want to talk about here today is my review on my Champion Auto Lift. Those of you know that I've had this lift for about 3 months now. I want to demonstrate on how this lift works. Any car enthusiasts that have a lot of cars that want to free up some storage space in their garage for cars must invest in one of these. Like I said, this is the best thing I ever did. If you don't use it to put a car, you could always change your oil, clean the bottom of your car, look underneath the car. Worse yet, if you don't have an extra car, put some 2x4s across it and you can use it as storage. No need to put stuff in the attic. But anyways, I'm going to film this video with this lift in operation, and it was much easier to do it with the car off because with the garage door, when it's open, it's going to reduce some space when I bring it back into up higher position to free off locks to bring it back down. So therefore I wouldn't be able to do it with the garage open, and if I had it closed, it gives myself a foot more space to clear the locks to bring it back down, which I will not be able to film because it'd be too dark in the garage. But anyways, let's get to it. Anyways, you've got a lock lever right here, okay? So let's assume that right now that the Corvette is up top, all right? It's sitting over there, but let's just say the Corvette is up top. Well, what you do is, on each 4 corners, right here, and 2 in the back, will have locks. Now what happens is that when your car is up in the air, or the lift is up in the air, you want to free it off these cables, because the cables is what pulls the car up. You want to set it back down on the locks so it would relieve the tension off the cables. You don't want it to be suspended by cables long term. So anyways, since all 4 corners right now are locked in the locking position, we must have to bring the lift up just a little bit for this lever to free. And by then, you stop the lift. Anytime you push this button, your lift will go up, and anytime you stop this, it will stop and be hung by cables. And then once it's freed off the locks, then you can push this lever to make sure that the lock is disengaged, and you take this lever hydraulically to lower the lift. Now most of these lifts, when you lower it, they run off of compressed air. So you will need an air compressor, and I believe it's 20 psi to bring the lift down. But this being that it's a Champion Auto Lift, does not need an air compressor. It's got a self-contained hydraulic unit where you don't have to run another line through an air compressor. I know there's bent packs and a lot of kind of lifts out there, but this lift is still really not the cheapest one. It's probably second to the 3rd cheapest one, but it's a self-contained unit and it works great. And it wasn't that expensive, but let's demonstrate. So, assuming that the bed is up top, then we're gonna bring it up a little bit to get it off the locks. It takes time for it to free off the cables, okay, because it's got to pick up the cable slack. Now, as you can see, these locks are disengaged. So what we can do now is hit this hydraulic lever, and as you can see, the lift is going down. Now if you let go, it stops. And then you press it, and it will keep going down. Now, going down is a lot faster if you had a car on it because you've got weight. Going up is the slowest because you're pulling a lot of weight with cables. So you can stop at a midpoint or whatever you want. Now you got to keep this lever pressed down so that it will not catch back onto the locks. Now once you get to about, I'd say about right about here, okay, or actually one more notch, the last lock, once it passes that, you can release the lock mechanism and it will go all the way straight to the ground. Now, if the car was on there, it would have like 3,000 pounds forcing it down, so it would make it a lot easier, or a lot faster, shall I say. There we go. Now we got the lift all the way to the ground. Now, you've got these ramps right here. You got two heavy-duty steel ramps that you attached right there on each corners, and there's a left and a right one, and then you can pull your car in. What do you guys think? Nice piece of work. You've got these drip trays, front and back, all four of them. You can move them to wherever you like. The hardest thing is getting it up onto the ramp, because you don't want to drive off these ramps. I mean, you know, if you're more edged to the, you know, end on one side, you know, once you get the car up, you're going to have more of a difficult time getting off. But, you know, basically, have a spotter would work best. That way they can see that you're not going to drive off the ramps. And if you're wondering why I have so many glue traps, is because this is a new house. There's a lot of crickets, and I don't want them in my garage, I don't want them in my house. And I've done a lot of videos in my garage where you can see a lot of glue traps, because I hate bugs in the garage. But anyways, let's put the lift back up, and we'll show you how that will go. When you've got 3,500, 3,300 pounds on the lift, lowering it is a lot faster. But lifting it by cable, it's going to take a lot longer, because you've got more weight to pull. So anyways, to bring the lift back up, like I said, you use your ramps, you hook them up, drive the car on, and this is all you got to do. Since your locks are free, because they're at the bottom, basically what you do is you just push this button right here. It takes time for the cables to catch, and then you raise it to your desirable position. You stop it at wherever you want, okay? These locks, they're in increments. You decide where you need to go. I have a piece of tape right here that shows me that that's where it needs to stop for the Corvette. So therefore, once I reach this pass point, I give myself a little bit of room, a little higher over this piece of tape where the lock is. Then I can set it back down. So you must go a little bit over your mark to set it back down on the mark where the locks are. That's catching one lock. Every time you hear a click, it's catching a lock. Going up with or without a car takes this long. But coming down, it's a lot faster if you've got weight on it. Second lock. And all it does is plugs into a regular wall outlet, and anybody could put one of these. But you must really need a 9.5 foot ceiling in order to put one of these in, or else you won't get any cars up there. Because I barely have about 4 to 5 inches up top when both cars are up. So we're going to bring this all the way up. Since I don't have a car up there, I'll bring it up higher. And then what I'll do is I'll lock it in place. Okay. So this is the lock right here, and I've gone past it a little bit. So now it's really suspended by cables. So we need to take this lever right here, bring it down, just gentle slightly, until it rests on the locks. So now the lift is secure. And I'll walk around and show you what I mean by secure. That right there, if you could see, okay, is where these little notches right here. That's one lock, that's two locks, and of course it's sitting right on the third lock. So, all four corners must be in the locking position. So when you have them in the locking position, as you can see, all four corners, all right, your car will be secure, and now, as you can see, it's off the cables. Yeah, you do not want to be hanging your car up there, or have your car up there hanging by cables, because you're stressing the cables out. So when you get to your desired position, which is generally this right here for the vet, but since I'm not putting the car up there, I brought it higher so I don't hit my head if I'm getting in and out of the house. But that's how you secure it. Now all four corners is locked in place with the locks. And if you want to bring the car down, you do exactly what I did in the beginning of this video. But it's a very secure system. And this is a time that I can actually show you the lift because there's no car on it. But there we have it. Champion Auto Lift. It was a good deal, and check out their website. And like I said, any car enthusiast should own one of these. But anyways, if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, comment. Tap the notification bell for future videos. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.